Hi, friends, and welcome to the REBBL Challengers Cup Finals, and in fact, the final game of REBBL playoffs. In fact, or the REBBL postseason, I should say, as we saw. I'm sure most of us are aware the finals of the playoffs happened on Friday, and now it is whatever today is. Sunday. It is Sunday. Oh,
2 years. Who knew that one night of raw, nasty, frankly illegal pleasure could result in such a beautiful baby?
Great. Thank you. Good timing. I'm sure everybody tuning in for the playoffs appreciates that. Well, at like 2 years, it's good timing. I mean, that worked out well. Hey, thanks, Cthulhu Collector. I need to remember where I was. This is the Challengers Cup Finals between Okim and Priest. Okim and his Necro came through Big Chuck and his Chaos in the semifinals to get here, and Priest came through Bernie Buffin and his Chorfs, who we recapped this season. Actually, I'm surprised. I'm surprised and proud that he went as far as he did in the playoffs, considering how poorly the start of his season was. He got beaten around quite a bit in Rel 2, at least for the start, and he has made it all the way to the semifinals of the Challengers Cup. So this is the last match, because this is the Challengers Cup Finals, and we had the playoff finals on Friday. And this is the first team that we'll take a look at. We'll take a look at Okim, BreakNec Rampage, the Necro, 200k in the bank as of like a few seconds ago when I clicked on it, and it's still there. So he may be. I have to check what Priest team looks like, and we'll get to that in a second, I guess. But I'm interested in wondering if he's just keeping that, if he's gonna like dump that, buy a zombie. We'll have to see.
This is a filthy Necro team.
It really is. It has a bunch of stats, which is kind of really good.
Not like it.
Yeah. Well, we saw what it did to Big Chuck recently.
Big Chuck.
Well, we can start. Wolfgang Amadeus is a bit of a hero, you know, the plus strength, like this. It's gross. So he's got the Mighty Blow piling on, the doubles combination that you need on the Wolves, and he's also picked up plus strength, so he can just solo blitz around the whole field at strength 4 on your standard strength 3 player, Mighty Blow piling on them with 0 assists, and then have 8 movement afterwards, or to get there. It's gross. He's not going to likely to frenzy trap himself with strength 4. You know, and then we've got the ball carrying, he's also got Mighty Blow somehow, but he's got movement 9 and blodge just to be extra annoying, you know, another threat, but also you know, can carry the ball very well, get really far with movement 9. The whites are the least impressive part of this team. Like, look, they're boring standard whites. This one has Mighty Blow, and this one has guard, Mighty Blow, and tackle. Bah. So boring.
Apparently I am very quiet, and I have everything jacked up on my end, so you may want to...
Are you? Try saying something again.
Saying something?
You are coming through very loud on my mixer, so I'm not sure what that means. Hey, Aringzard, well, we'll try. Let me know if it's any better. I can turn you up if I have to, but my mixer shows you as coming through pretty loud.
Okay, well, we'll keep things as is.
Laundry's done. This was very last minute. I got into doing this about 5 minutes ago. No, I don't mean the laundry. I mean like streaming. I wasn't planning on this. 2 flesh golems. One of them has got plus strength, which is very annoying. Strength 5 pseudo like big guy, stand in the way with stand firm, guard, block. The one ghoul is the more sacker ghoul rather than a ball carrying ghoul. We don't really have one of those. And then a bunch of zombos. One has got doubles, like he's a 2 cream 2 sugar coffee with guard.
I really hate you.
I know. With guard and stand firm, which is kind of interesting on a zombie. It makes him a 100k zombie, but he's going to be such an annoying zombie to mark up against like a Beast of Nurgle or a troll or whatever, and just be like, here you go. Like this guy is stuck
I think
forever.
I would have skipped the second one, to be honest. Like, sure, stand firm is appealing, but I think just block would have been, I mean, certainly
more annoying
and just more broadly useful. Like, it makes him harder to block down, even Yeah, like it's a different value, but I think block, broadly speaking, gives him like slightly more for slightly less cost.
He's a tiny flesh golem.
He is a mini fleshy, and he has a big fleshy, so now he's got a small, medium, and large fleshy.
That's completed the evolutions. We've got the starter and then mid-tier evolution and the final evolution of the Pokemon Flesh Golem. Anyway, let's go to find.
I do like the name Frank Einstein. It deserves a plus strength.
I'm never gonna spell any of this right and see if we can find. I need to find the team. Come on, let's just do it the normal way and search through it like a lazy person.
It's favorite, so you know.
But it's. I just typed FAV and it wasn't enough. So here, this is Priest team. I have done this before, and we have a Priest's team with a great theme. I really love it. Partially because I can sing it. It's annoying that it's not in player order, but it is in like lyric order. So I guess that's acceptable. Right, like the Pestigore is above Beast of Nurgle, and then there's Nurgle Warriors, but that's the correct order of lyrics, so I'm okay with that.
I also just love Noob of Clan Noob at the bottom.
It even fits, right? Like girls in white dresses and blue satin sashes, Roach Lover, Hindus, and Noob of Clan Noob. Like, it's great. It works.
Well, they're on inducements now.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get into there in a second. So we've got the Wrestle Frenzy Pestigore. We got a Beast of Nurgle with the sort of guard stand firm package, but he's also picked up strength and movement to be extra annoying. Movement seems weird. I've used it personally. It's kind of niche. It comes every once in a while. It's like, oh man, that one movement has saved me a GFI to get this Beast of Nurgle in a really useful position, and it's really handy. Like the times you have it, when it works, it's great, and a lot of the times it doesn't do much, but it's so valuable when you do need it. So we'll see if that occurs. Bright Copper Kettles is a mini Beast of Nurgle because his regular Beast of Nurgle is plus strength. So we've got a strength 6 tentacles and a strength 5 tentacles. Which
honestly, after Guard Stand Firm, I think movement is like I would absolutely consider movement a better pick than most normals on the Beast of Nurgle.
I would say so too.
Guard Break Tackle is nice, but you don't really need him break tackling.
Now that I've got the singing, I'm off. See you later, Priest. Good luck. Two plus strength tentacles players are going to be super useful at controlling like elves or speedy players. I mean, the only real good targets for that on this team are on Okim's Necro or the wolves.
And the ghouls.
There's only one ghoul, and he's Wrestle.
Oh, right, the Wrestle.
Got two killer Nurgle Warriors with the standard package, three Nurgle Warriors with the standard package. They're just separated into verses. I love this team. I love it so much.
They're not even killers. I mean, they went support first. They just ran out of useful support skills. Well, not really.
Well, every Nurgle Warrior in the universe goes block, guard, mighty blow, claw, tackle, stand firm in some order, and depending on whether you want support or kill first, that's like what you take first. But it's always those skills, and he just did block guard first. And then there's a Wrestle Rodder. There's another plus strength Pestigore, so he's strength 5 on the Blitz. Also kind of annoying as a ball carrier, just strength 4 to knock down, because he doesn't have a dedicated one as it is. And then a killer one in blue satin sashes, and some rando Rodders. He's got 2150, so he's quite a bit above Okim. They're in inducements now, so he should be able to go.
Yeah, 240k in inducements, so that might be a Cheney.
There's also
a wizard and a bribe, something.
There it is. There's a bit of he had 50k extra that he needed to spend, I think, so he might have picked up a zombie as well.
Yeah, he was at 1910 when I just looked now, and with 130k.
Okay, so he must have bought a zombie or something, or maybe a ghoul. I don't remember how much he had.
There it is.
I do not see an extra ghoul. Oh, he did. He bought another ghoul, so he has a rookie ghoul. That he spent 70k of his bank, or he had 200k, so it brings him down below 150, and he has an extra player, bench of 3, another ghoul, not too bad. And 4 inducements, we've got a wizard, we've got a bribe, and that's it, 250. The wizard is he doesn't have like an agi player or anything to take advantage of it very well, but if he does get a good wizard at some point, like a good lightning bolt, he can get that ball very far away. He just has to be a little bit careful with when he does it and pay attention to where the scatters could be. if the scatters are going to scatter in a bunch of Nurgle tackle zones, it's not great.
with the Nurgle's Agi3 and limited movement, often just getting the ball on the ground is good enough. It forces the Nurgle to play very differently, which usually means more aggressively, and if they're not getting the numbers advantage they need, it can force some really weird plays that, might leave the ball exposed if Nurgle fail things, and Nurgle tend to be Nurgle's worst enemy.
Yeah. You just do you do what I do as Nurgle when you play against a wizard, which is pretend the wizard isn't there, and then your opponent eventually fireballs you because you have a cage, and then the fireball doesn't do anything because it's a fireball, and then the wizard is gone.
That is one way to play around a wizard.
Yes. Well, I mean, people always say this, like one of the big advantages of having a wizard is your opponent plays weirdly because they know you have a wizard. Mm-hmm. So I just actively choose to ignore it for most of it. Unless it's like obvious, like I'm potatoing hardcore and it's turn 7, like then you really do need to pay attention to the wizard. But I won't like avoid doing cages or whatever just because a fireball exists. I don't know, there's a bunch of memes from playoffs. I mean, I kind of do that choleric, like cage to draw it out, but I cage anyway because I have a weird like fetish for cages apparently. So I don't like actively do it to draw it out. I just do it anyway, and then it happens to draw it out because I ignore the wizard.
I like the setup from the Nurgle though. Really going to be tough to get a good blitz in here. I think the Necro are going to have to be satisfied with some hits on the...
Yeah, this is where you, as Necro, you just sort of give up, really, on trying to blitz something. You save the blitz in case you don't happen to knock down one of the LOS players, and you can just blitz them.
You could even claw palm something because all of the Rotters are currently occupied, and it's not like Priest is going to be fouling with a Wrestle Frenzy Pestigore on a regen. That said, the Werewolf would then, stand up next turn to have many players in his face, I suspect.
Yeah, that was going to be my next statement, I guess, is like you don't have to dedicate your blitzing players to just a place where they can blitz from. You can just put them on the line and use the Mighty Blow on the Rotters.
Yeah.
Just to try to get an extra player.
You got to worry about. Like, obviously, in an ideal world, you roll a both down and you can just piling on where you're standing. But if you don't do that, then your Werewolf could be in trouble.
That's true.
You might just blitz with them.
You could also blitz one of the Rotters on the side and push him into your own lines.
Ooh, okay. Pitch Invasion. That's exciting. Never mind. It's not. But the Nurgle got the worst end of that for sure.
Yeah, well, I mean, by definition...
Did Okim not leave a player back to collect the ball?
There's a ghoul.
I mean, is that back? Would you consider Elliot Gould's position?
No, I would...
Oh, never mind. The one in the middle.
Glenn Gould, the one in this... the one in the standard ball retrieving position in the middle of the pitch?
Look, I woke up really early to play an Australian this morning. I barely got through the game, if we're honest.
That's fair.
I won, though.
Oh, nice. What was that in?
That was in Clan. It's my last Clan game.
Oh, I didn't notice that you had played that.
I rolled 60 blocks and got 8 breaks. It was a good game against Brett's.
So we're 2-1 in the last week that doesn't matter.
Yeah, he's mad because he might need to get an extension for synergy. So yeah, all the soft stuff going to Okim's way. They have the Fame, they have of course the Inducement, and this Pitch Invasion has given them the left-hand side of the field if they want it.
Yeah, but T-Self, we relegate no matter what we do. So it doesn't matter for us. It matters for everybody else. So
I suppose he's also going to claw palm cream-colored ponies now. So
if everybody else wants us to win, somebody bribe me, I guess.
Can he get a guard around? I don't think he can. He could do it with a ghoul, maybe. No, not without doing GFIs. So this would be a frenzy trap of a 2-die into a 1-die, which is scary when you're already hitting a piece with Fallow.
Yeah, and you don't really want to be leaving yourself in a position where you easy clomb.
You could take him sideways, but if you take him sideways, you might be putting yourself onto the Beast of Nurgle, which is possibly worse.
I don't think you blitz anybody here. I would just not. I would position my players in good spots and then call it good.
It's so tempting though, because if you get a removal on cream-colored ponies, okay.
He's gonna go after.
He's gonna just do a normal blitz.
We're gonna go after.
But with who? He needs one more assist, or is he gonna 1-die it?
I mean, he could go with the strength wolf, but you just don't palm it.
I mean, the problem is if this is a frenzy trap.
No, it's not. Oh, he said, what's 2 die into a 1 die? Yeah.
That is the definition of a frenzy trap, I think.
I don't know. I feel like into an uphill, I guess. But if I'm pretty sure Okim is incredibly aware that this would be a 2 die into a 1 die.
I know. No, what we're seeing here is the silence of a coach who really, really wants to be greedy. He can wrap the right ghoul around, but I think he has to GFI 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'd have to do a single GFI.
No, you could move the like Fituck the zombie back and then just put the white around the back, or you could do the ghoul around the back. But that's so scary.
Oh, right, because he's because you can just push him onto it now. This works.
Yeah, I mean,
This is scary. This is fun.
No, this is scary in that the like even if you knock him down, the ghoul's just like, hey, please, dear God, blitz me.
Ghouls die.
Okay. Are you gonna palm?
Oh yeah, you palm that. All the routers are tied up. Come on, palm it. Be brave.
I guess they are. Yeah.
He didn't. I would have palmed that.
Yeah, the beast is
stuck on the beast.
The only
it's true.
The only players the beast wants to be stuck on are the wolves or the ghouls. And if you put the wolf there, the beast is just going to go splap and then put himself next to both the ghoul and the wolf.
It's very true. I was it's always fun to advocate for the bloodshed.
That's true. I mean, when they're not your players, it's great to cheer for them all dying.
I don't know. Sometimes I cheer for my own players dying.
Yeah, I mean, this ghoul, it's nice to know you, Elliot Gould. You have a good name, but you're dead now. That's the downside to this. You could have done it with the white, but instead, but it's either way you're exposing a player you don't really want to get hit. And the ghoul is slightly more likely to die because of armor 7 and no regen, but he also has.
That's interesting. Can't reroll that. I don't think. No. That's a scary scatter.
It really is. But the ghoul does have wrestle and dodge, so he's slightly less likely to die.
Like having wrestle just makes you 100% more likely to receive a POW.
That's true. Wrestle does nothing. Wrestle is fake.
It wasn't fake when I played the Bretts, though. I rolled a lot of 1 and 9s, and a lot of lizards were wrestling with strange men with strange.
That sounds like a great time. A whole bunch of scaly lizard men rolling around on the floor with some oily French men. Wonderful.
My company would have been very interested in the content.
Yeah, Juggernaut against for Nurgle is not to like a legend skill generally, because like Mighty Blow, Claw, piling on, tackle, block. Hey, there's 6 of your levels there on the
He's doing what I'd expect here, which is making sure that the best players are tied up with useless ones. Ooh, double push. The
Ghoul's okay. Well,
could have pushed him back onto this Nurgle warrior. I think I would have left the killer exposed. I suppose it's not worth. But otherwise, you could have put the beast in a pretty good spot, but not at the expense of your best killer, your only killer.
I've taken Juggernaut before piling on a Pestigore, just for the purpose of and that was only because I had 2 killer Pestigores. Like I had 2 Block, Claw, Mighty Blow Pestigores, so I took Juggernaut before piling on one of them and piling on the other one, just so I had the Juggernaut option, and then promptly forgot how it worked.
Do you kill this beast? Oh, the positioning is nice there because you can't. Can you get around? 1, 2. Yeah, you can blitz sideways. You can get a 2 die into a 2 die on this beast, I think. With Claw Bomb.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, that is a beast in the danger zone, my friends.
He has to GFI to go around the side, right? And if he pushes
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You do realize that people can't see what you're counting.
I'm counting for me. He's still in danger.
I'm in danger. If you want to blitz with the strength 4 guy to make it a 2 die, well, 4, 5, you'd have to bring in another assist because remember the beast is strength 6. And if you want to make it a 2 die with the strength wolf, you would need to bring in another assist. But you could
followed there probably. You could at least be in a position where you're tying up 2 Rotters instead
And
of 1.
it's really scary if he does go for that, because that's Claw Palm on your Beast of Nurgle. But on the other hand, he's committing 4 of his players to block 1 of yours, which is kind of the whole point of the Beast. You just have to pray it doesn't work.
Yes, well, against Claw Palm, that's not a good prayer.
No, it's a little scary. And here we go. We're going for it. Foul appearance.
You'd reroll that. Ooh, 1 die pow. That's some spice.
You just went for the 1 die. Oh, there you go. Okay. Greed rewarded with a 6/3/6. You didn't. That would have worked without Claw or Mighty Blow. Just so we're aware.
God, that's so bad for the Nurgle.
And he's just gone. Regen failure. Good start.
Yeah.
That would have worked if a zombie did it. Or anything that was strength 4, I suppose. But that was a 9.
He needed the Mighty Blow.
Oh, he did need the Mighty Blow, yeah. On the Kaz, yeah. Oh dear. Well, that's bad. That's really like that strength 6 stand firm guard is so annoying.
Yeah, 1 but not both, exactly.
And that's a big piece that's out.
He could have made that a 2 die.
He could have. He just needed 1 more assist.
I guess the whole point was that he didn't want the Beast to be able to not stand firm and elect to not be pushed onto the other Claw Mighty Blow Wolf is what he was going for. So Priest was risking a 1 die because the payoff was... Well, no, because even if he just stood firm, he'd get 2 1 dies. So I think I would have made that a 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Wolves now are in a lot less danger of being tied up.
Yeah, that seems weird. Like, because that is stand firm. That would have been a 1 die if he didn't make an assist. And as like a first action, like that seems really greedy.
I mean, especially because he re-rolled the... I mean, if that had been a skull instead of a POW, this would be a very different game.
Yeah, I did like the only way I can think that makes sense is if you forgot that stand firm existed. And then you're willing to do the 1 die into a 2 die after you push him into your own people, and even if you fail, you can do it again. But that the only way that makes sense is if you forgot about stand firm. But I mean,
did he forget about Dre?
He could have moved like a zombie or something, or a white. He didn't need to do the wolf, but yeah.
There are all kinds of things he could have forgotten about, but either way, it worked out. So results based, yada yada.
Yeah.
Memes.
It worked. Everything's good for the Necro, and you're sad as the Necro.
Now you have a no reroll pickup on the LOS, or on the LOS on the touchdown line, and you've got the 2 die against the Claw Mighty Blow works out.
And the Nurgle are so out of position because of that pitch invasion, right? We've got a bunch of players on the ground. They're all sort of tied up on one side of the field. It's turn 2, and we have he can score if he wants to. Like he has to roll what, like 3 dice? Or he has to, I suppose, 4 with the pickup.
No, I mean, yeah, he's not scoring this turn.
No, he's absolutely not going to score, and you wouldn't. But I'm saying that it's turn 2, and he can, right?
Yeah, but he's in a bit of a pickle here at least, because what's going to happen now is if he doesn't dodge the zombie out, the zombie is going to get punched by this Claw Mighty Blow piece, and then it frees up these 2+ strength pieces to get a little bit more involved here. The Nurgle aren't totally screwed here, but they are, remarkably out of position.
Yeah, and that was what sort of the point of my whole rant there is that the pitch invasion put them in a kind of out of position place. And the Necro,
130, that is technically how dice work. He just would have re-rolled it into a POW.
It is. That is, in fact, exactly how dice work. But you shouldn't think about it that way, because you don't know what dice results are until you've rolled them, is kind of the point.
Wisely moves his...
No, another failed pickup. But it
doesn't scatter out, though, which would have been the scary thing.
Yeah. I keep forgetting this ghoul is down here. This is not a Blood Bowl game. This is not a Blood Bowl game. This is just a fight in the center of the field, and we're all just ignoring the ball.
Oh, gets a removal of his own.
I feel like Okim is happy to trade a zombie's life for the Beast of Nurgle's life, though, but we'll see if that continues to be the only removal. There is a lot of Claw Mighty Blow for the Nurgle, so if the Necro just let them continue to fight here without...
Now, this is interesting.
Yeah, going after the ghoul. If the Necro just let the Nurgle continue to fight...
And I don't think he can tap this white if he wants to, yeah.
The Nurgle will eventually pull ahead, given average dice. But we'll see. It's... and
this Necro team's a bit more sturdy than most, but yeah.
Yeah, but there's 4 Claw Mighty Blow for the Nurgle, it's going to, you know, take its toll eventually. At least you'd hope.
That has not been my experience with Claw Mighty Blow.
No, you have to have the right attitude for Claw Mighty Blow.
You gotta believe in the heart of the cards, yeah.
Yeah, and you clearly do not have the spirit of a Claw Mighty Blow player.
That's why I'm switching to rats.
Are you?
Yeah, friend.
I like
All
how you've
signed up.
re-rolled like 4 times, and I still have the same
re-rolled
team.
Twice.
I still have the same team that we just got Legion. It's a terrible team, and I shouldn't still have it.
Shouldn't have that team.
No, I really shouldn't.
So you can blitz him with a GFI with the plus strength flesh golem. It's probably what you want to do here.
Raindrops on Roses is being certainly a threat on this ball, and you know, Okim has to be careful. He's been committing his rerolls to like blocks and stuff so far, but unless he is willing to bring back some of these players to help defend, you absolutely need to commit a reroll to this pickup here. So it's this one Pestigor is putting him in a position where he has to make some decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Do you just pretend that the pickup is going to work because you failed it twice so far and just ignore him? Do you blitz him? Do you just bring back players to support in case something does go wrong? We'll see what he does. I mean, I do know that rats have claw, but we're not really a claw palm team, considering you can get it on 2 players, and it does require.
You can get it on 6 players, man. I mean, I think the throwers also have mutation access on doubles. They do, yeah. So you can technically get it on 8.
If you build a rat team with 8 claw palm players,
oh right, because even the linemen have have mutation accents. You're gonna have 11 Claw Mighty Blow players, and you're just gonna have.
Okay, I had a claw rotter once, and he was amazing. He did so much work. He was the mascot of the team for a long time. Get 11 claw palm Skaven, and I'll shut up forever.
I don't think either of those things are possible.
No.
Okay, now he's brought back the wolf to bring things kicking and screaming back to the game. This is a bit of a scary turn for the Necro. If a couple of things go wrong here, they could be in some serious trouble.
Yeah, that's what I was saying sort of at the start, is he has to decide what he wants to do, right? You can't be too greedy with blocks because you super want to dictate or dedicate your reroll to the pickup in case it fails. You also might just consider marking the Pestigor or blitzing him or something just to try to take away that threat, but we'll see what he prioritizes as Pseudo Kim prioritizes as his option to keep the ball safe here.
He basically has to take out the Pestigor. He can get the ball. He'd have to do GFIs to get the ball behind any sort of screen, and he doesn't have the players to screen off. And
no,
this is always the problem I have with Necro. It always just feels like you have no players on the field.
Yeah, because you have it's the same thing with sort of like undead and that kind of deal, right? You've got your like 5 positionals and then a bunch of zombies, and it just all the zombies get tied up and it feels like you can't do anything. And I heard somebody describe it as accordion like the other day. They're like the white or the werewolves get so far apart from other people sometimes that you have to like wait for the rest of your team to catch up. Oh, nice mitten, my stays.
Oh, okay.
Well, Cream Colored Ponies is dead.
You get better.
But like this wolf is just on a rampage. He's like, I'm just going to charge around blitzing people that I care about, and they're going to die because, you know, I break armor 100% of the time.
Regen is cheating, but there's a reason, that this wolf has 152 SPP. So ball question mark? You can technically sideline it, and it is safe. There is a position where you can't be even. Well, you can be base, but you can't be.
I mean, if he picks up the ball and stays in the backfield, I mean, I as the Nurgle player would 1000% do other stuff and then try the 3+ dodge to just blitz him. If you go,
but you can put him on the sideline where he can't be blitzed. The Pestigor can't reach the left sideline.
Oh, I see. Well, you have to be in the back 4 squares on the left sideline,
yes, so you don't get hit by the front one. Like basically the 19 line and forward.
This is where you can be to be safe from blitzing as the ghoul. Is these 5 squares?
Oh, I know it's not the 19 line because that's not how I know how sports work.
It's 16. These they go up by 4, but these labels make no sense.
Don't worry about I think each square is 2 yards is what they're going for there.
The 91 line, yeah. The 90L line. And this is the 0Z line. And this is the, like, AZ line. The Beast of Nurgle got clawed by this wolf who is killing a player every turn. I may not be a big sports nerd, but I am a stats nerd. And football has some pretty fun stats sometimes, like American football. My favorite is Scoregami. If you've never heard of it, you should look it up. It's great. It's the only sport where that really works too. Because they have such a weird scoring system where you don't score in like easy multiples of 1. There are certain score lines that are possible, and certain ones that are just not possible, and certain ones that are very unlikely, but technically possible. So there's a whole bunch of game scores that have just literally never occurred in the history of the NFL. And it's fun to pay attention to when those games might happen. There was one like 2 weeks ago.
Can you engineer a 2-die? Well, you can definitely engineer a 2-die on this wolf by simply blitzing the wolf, which I think is probably a good call. I was wondering if he's going to try to engineer a 2-die on this flesh golem, but I don't think he's going to bother. Oh, nope. He's going for the plus.
He's just going after the killer. He's like, I'm tired of you.
I mean, that makes a lot of sense.
Clopum!
I wonder if you pile on.
Yeah, you need to take that guy off the field. He keeps killing your team.
It was a joke, man.
Dead! Ah, damn it. Wolfgang Amadeus is, like, invincible, but also removes players himself.
He's safe for one more turn.
That's true. Although you would like to try to foul him next turn, if you can. Do we have a dirty player, Rodder?
Stand firm.
I don't think we do. The stand firm zombie.
Neither side have a dirty player. So the bribe actually was a bit of a strange pickup.
I mean, I guess you could have gone with just babes. I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like when you're inducing a bribe against a team, and when you have no dirty player and they have regen, it's just a lot less likely to work out. But even, I guess at that point, you're just happy with stuns even, so it's not that big.
I think block probably would be better than the stand firm, but he's really funny.
He's glorious. 100k zombie or a 90k zombie?
100k. I like how this is just a big fight in the middle of the field while like the ghoul is just kind of hanging out with the ball. You know what? I'll play my own game, guys.
Oh, there is stink on this. There's stink everywhere you would want to do a handoff. Or actually, there's no stink on this ghoul. So if you could blitz someone off this ghoul, you could potentially run away with this a little bit, but not easily. It'd be a 4+ pass.
Yeah.
And you'd have to somehow free up this the ghoul itself.
So he can just stay in the backfield and be safe, but then he's not progressing forward. And, 4 turns is still plenty of time for Necro, but it's starting to get to the point where you need to think about at least going across your own LOS.
So you can't really fast Wolf would have to do a 4+ handoff is the only thing. You have to blitz off. Yes, if you blitz this guy and you manage to push him back 1 square, there's no stink.
Yeah, so you can take the white and put him here, and then you can. Oh wait, the flesh golem can do it by himself. No, he can't.
No,
They're both plus strength.
They're both plus strength.
So you put the white as an assist, then you can blitz with the flesh golem, and you just push him 1 square back, and then the wolf's out of stink, and then the wolf can go wherever he wants.
That's true, and he can get pretty safe. So the only thing you'd be worried about there is 1 in 9s or foul appearance fails, but it's pretty likely.
Even if it doesn't, even if you get the foul appearance fail, just marking that Nurgle Warrior makes your ghoul pretty safe. He's unlikely to do the 4+.
Yeah, but we're talking about handing off to the wolf and running to space.
Yeah, but I'm assuming the failure case where it doesn't work, you can then choose to just not hand off to the wolf, and your ball is still relatively safe because the Nurgle Warrior is now marked and won't go anywhere.
Yeah.
I think is what. But yeah, you can stay in the backfield and be super safe as another option, but then you're running the clock down a bit. If you just run forward with the ghoul, that would be a big mistake because you can't really get it safe. You could just like go cage with these
guard
players.
Piece onto 5 of his players. Oh, so we can blitz it. I see. Okay.
Nope.
Bloody foul appearance. Ooh. Speaking of foul appearance, you can't reroll this because you have so many other things you need to reroll this turn to potentially. He agrees. Hey, look, Nurgle are annoying.
I love them.
At 11.
Foul appearance is best skill.
This is a chain push dream right here. I don't know what you can do with it, but
You can do
You
something.
could probably free up this Nurgle Warrior for a blitz on the sideline.
Put another player in this square, and then you can fireball 9 people.
There you go. That's the real dream.
Some of them are your own players, but that doesn't really matter.
Look, man. Blood for the Blood God.
Skulls for the Skull Throne.
Are we doing a 4+ hand?
No,
no, we're handing off to the white.
No,
right.
Are we actually handing off, or is he just staying there?
I think we're handing off to the white.
He can just like use the wolf and the white to like mark up the Pestigore, and the Pestigore isn't going to do anything.
It's true.
The Pestigore is not going to make like a 4+, 3+ to 2 die the ball.
But the problem I have with this strategy is that the midfield kerfuffle, I feel, is about to go in the Nurgle's favor. Okay, so we're not going to make a ton of forward progress, but you can put a player in position to score next turn potentially. Because that Pestigore can't blitz the ball easily. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He could do it with double GFI. Okay, now he...
Well, we need to do something about this Pestigore.
Well, he's going to put the other wolf here, I assume. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so now that's difficult for the... I like this. This makes it... Because I was going to say, if he just marks up the Pestigore, I would probably consider the the weird Nurgle Warrior dodge just to hit the ball, because you're not going to...
What you can do here is try a 2-die with Bright Copper Kettles, and... Okay, that makes it harder. Actually, no, it doesn't. You can do a 2-die with Bright Copper Kettles, and if you get a knockdown there, and then if you knock down Fiddick, you can do a 2-die with Warm Woolen Mittens with 2 GFIs.
Yeah. I was going to say, if he just left the 2 players on the Pestigore while the Pestigore wasn't possible, I totally would have considered the weird Nurgle Warrior dodge to hit the ball. But putting the white there screens the ball off from both the Nurgle Warrior and the Pestigore, so it's a good white position.
Okay, yeah, so you can get if you can get a knockdown on Frank Eisenstein, you can get a 2-die on.
Yeah.
Getting that double push out of the way.
And there's a couple ways to do that. We're going to need to get an assist. You can either try to free up one of the Rotters by punching the Ghoul.
Oh, no, he doesn't go for it. More double pushes. All right, this is how the Nurgle lose the kerfuffle in the middle.
You can also do it with girls in white dresses, but you also need to knock down Frank Eisenstein for it. So you can use one of these Rotters to punch the... well, it's not great, actually, because that zombie with guard is being very annoying.
Yeah, that's the hope. Yeah.
If he had knocked down that zombie with guard, you could have blocked the Ghoul with the... Ooh.
Double push into 1 and 9. It's not how you want this turn to go, is Nurgle.
If he had knocked down that zombie, he could have then attempted to knock down the Ghoul, and if that worked, you can use one of the Rotters you freed up to be an assist, 2-die the Flesh Golem, and then 2-die the ball with a couple GFIs from girls in white dresses. But without the knockdown, that didn't work, so we had to resort to Plan B, which is punch more stuff.
Yep, but didn't get anything for it. Rolled 10 block dice, 12 if you count the reroll, and got 1 knock.
Yep.
And 1 turnover.
That's not how you want that turn to go. One thing that's nice about Nurgle sometimes is that when you, if Plan A fails, you can just immediately switch to Plan B, which is start punching stuff and something might die. But when that fails too, you just feel sad.
Yep. Up to 14. I think there was some complaining happening in chat just now.
Maybe.
When you get those pregnant pauses after a block dice result. Oh, well. Nurgle removing themselves.
I'm going to go to Plan B, try to remove the Necro. And then the result was, remove your own wrestle player.
Not a great turn, as far as turns go.
No, there have been better turns.
Better. Yep.
Yeah, certainly not where the Nurgle want it to be. I mean, they're on defense. It's going to be... Ideally, they'd like to stop the Necro score. But that's not always very possible against Necro with the sort of wolf speed and that sort of thing. So really what they would be fine with conceding the touchdown, assuming they burnt through some of the resources of the Necro, namely players and Wizard. If they could force the Wizard, that would be great. If they could just injure some players so that the Necro are down a few positionals or whatever to make their second half easier, that would also be acceptable for the Nurgle. But so far, they're getting the worst case, which is none of the above. It is just an MNG. And this guy got better. and this guy's KOs. The Nurgle are down 3, and the Necro are down 1. But those 3 are a Pestigore, a Beast of Nurgle, and a Nurgle Warrior, and the 1 is a zombie. So I feel like the Necro are ahead on that front. Bucharest, thanks for the follow. That's a fun name. Both because I like the mental image of arresting a book, but also because it sounds like Bucharest, the city. At least in my accent. So the sort of crisis has been averted by that Pestigore KOing themselves. So the Necro have plenty of space to just move up and plenty of players to keep themselves safe while doing so. They do need to be careful that because...
Nope.
Well...
Oh, okay. Well, that
That's
was
fine.
almost a disaster.
Almost, but it's
And
fine.
then it worked out.
Of course it did. Doorbells and sleigh bells. Does have to be careful. Blue Satin Sashes is available and free, so you need to make sure you're screening off your ball from Blue Satin Sashes. But pretty much every other Nurgle player is nice and locked up.
Blue Satin Sashes is available and free is just a great sentence. You know,
Yeah.
out there living their best life. It just feels very very festive.
It depends on the turn limits and stuff, Sinoble, or the turn timers, and how many removals happen. It can be anywhere from like 40 minutes to like 3 hours, depending on the rules that the game is abiding by.
So we had this question come up in College League because people got kind of weird about it. Yeah, an average game of like 3 to 4 minute turns in non-overtime format runs between an hour and an hour and a half, edging more towards an hour.
I generally block off a 2-hour period of time for any of my games that I'm playing, just in case they go long for some reason. Like I don't want to schedule anything within 2 hours of like a league game. If it's not a league game, I don't really care as much. But you know, about an hour and a half.
Is this ball safe? No. Can this ball be safe? Yes, ish. I mean, you're always gonna be blitzable with a 3+ rod or dodge with wrestle. So no. Has he blitzed yet? Yes. No, he hasn't.
No.
Oh, we're blitzing with Amadeus, I would imagine.
I would be very surprised if we do not.
On Warm Will and Mittens. That makes it not any safer at all.
Nope. It's still a 3+ away. People often forget that Rotters are actually Agi 3.
It's just a 3. Okay, I see. This will make it safe if he can get a knockdown here.
So far, he has not.
He does not have a...
Not a knockdown! Oh, man! Die!
That's still
no,
big.
it's fine.
Two
That's
dub skulls and a
huge.
turn. They're just failing at each other. It's wonderful. I love these sort of games.
I know, me too. So the Rotter, we have a 3+ to wrestle the ball. It's not amazing, but it's better than nothing. Can we actually... No, we can make it not a 3+, because we can block both the Fleshy and the...
And also, I was going to say...
Fleshy's dead!
Well, I think
he got better.
Better?
Yeah, he got better.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus.
Suddenly things have turned around a little bit for the Nurgle. This is the momentum swing turn that they wanted so far.
But I just wanted to point out, a 3+ to hit the ball by Nurgle standards is not great. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. I mean, there are so many turns where I'm like, I could do a 3+ to hit blitz the ball here. Should I do that? Yeah, I'm going to do that.
Are you trying to ask if there's an announcer that doesn't
likes werewolves?
Not like? Yeah, I feel like you're double negativing. Anyway.
No, I just I'm not trying to be like mean about it. It's just this wolf has
he can
removed
just do it
like
with the Pestigore, just so we're clear.
Yeah, now that he can, or now that that removal happened. The wolf is just a gross wolf, and I like seeing disgusting players die. And he's also removed like 3 players by himself.
Go.
So I feel like justice
down.
is deserved.
You can't palm this though. I don't like the push location.
Uh-oh.
He pushed it in a way that is most likely to have the ball scatter into 0 tackle zones.
Just a stun on the ghoul, so he's okay. Where?
It's because he's waiting to pile on, so we have to wait for the ball.
I was
You
like,
can't pile on. No, come on.
I feel like that's aggressive. He gets a removal out of it, but this means that we're more likely to scatter into a good spot for the Necro. Like that. If he had stood up, he'd at least be in one tackle. The ball would at least be in one tackle zone.
Yeah, so now this is a 3+ and then run to space, and then the Nurgle have literally no recourse because their only player in this part of the field is on the ground or a movement 4-piece.
Yeah, so we have a movement 9 werewolf adjacent to the ball with no tackle zones on it. Like, that's about as easy as it gets, other than him not having sure hands.
Look, I'm just saying, he didn't pile on when it was just going to get him based by the beast, but now he piles on when it literally just lets the ball be carried away.
Those are two different players.
No, both of them are the wolf. Oh no, that was right.
No,
that was
I mean coaches, not players.
Yes,
those are two separate human beings.
All Clawpalm players share the same shitty hive mind. That's my headcanon. And that's why I was a terrible Clawpalm player. I just didn't have.
You're not joined in on the consciousness. No, Shadora is being silly. One of them was the washing machine, and one of them was the dryer, I think.
Which would be 2 loads of laundry, functionally speaking.
I guess that's true.
Unless your dryer is very fast.
I think it's 2 loads.
Are you evaluating the speed of your dryer in your head right now?
Yes. There's a.
I adore you, Benjamin.
Thank you.
That's a move, Wolf.
You're a move wolf.
He's got the moves like Jagger.
That sounds like a band. Yeah, I was gonna say move wolf sounds like some sort of like progressive band. I mean, we do have to remember that this is Okim's drive. He really does want to score, and it's turn 6. So he does need to...
I like that you say that like there are drives where you wouldn't want to score. You're like, I don't need it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it was his opponent's drive, he would probably be more, like, you're mentally probably a little bit more inclined to go for damage or whatever. Like, you don't have to score, but on your drive, it's kind of more important to score.
I think you take a 1 die here with Jack White. It's a little scary, but it's only a 2+. Even a wrestle is fine. The ball's super safe after.
I do like Jack White as a name. I mean, you know, there's a bunch of like.
Yeah, but if the Rodder wrestles, that's fine. Like, you don't care as long as the. I'm sorry. I wouldn't do it with the ball carrier. I would
you do it with the white.
The one die.
And then pick up with the ball, or pick up with the wolf.
Oh, sorry, herrings. I didn't see that herrings are suggested blitzing with the wolf. I don't love it given that you could 1 at 9, but I mean, I guess that's unlikely.
It is, 1 in 9 likely.
It does kind of look like he short circuited because we have not moved in 3 minutes. Oh, there we go. Oh, we are going with the wolf blitz. This is
a 2 die, yes, but the wrestle makes it a little scary.
They're just trash talking each other. Okay, so the pickup makes that less scary because you might have not elected to do the block if you
Well, let's try again. Another chance for 1 in 9. Okay,
gets
we're
the
good.
knockdown. This is perfect, actually.
It's exactly what you wanted because you get the movement out of it and everything.
No, pick that one. Don't pick the skull.
Don't pick the skull. My favorite thing.
I would be shocked and unable to respond to my saves. I might just take the next 3 minutes of my turn to just say type what over and over again.
The white named Jack White has reminded me about the Jack White and Jack Black like band, like project that they have named Jack Gray, which pleases me a lot.
The timer jumped up to back up to 2 minutes when it was at 1 minute, so it's possible there are some disconnect issues going on here.
Or timer sync nonsense, because it might just be me as well, because the timer in game, like that I'm displaying, is just calculated locally and has nothing to do with the server timer, which is where it's actually calculated.
So it keeps jumping around. So I suspect Kim is actually experiencing a pause, or is having some connection issues.
Yeah, or it's possible it's also me, but it's probably more likely that it's them.
I'm also in the game, so in my own instance of the game.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, so it's probably them. But yeah, the timer down here is displayed just a calculated displayed by locally, but like the server has their own weird internal time for what
You
actually
could dodge
happens.
out this white and get a 2-die so you don't get claw palmed, which is probably worth considering. You're in a great position right now.
Yeah, you really are. The Nurgle cannot do anything about the ball. It's just physically out of range of literally every player.
And by moving all your players back here, you now are guaranteed a turn 8 score too. There's no way he can really force this score early, I don't think. And don't push it on your white. There you go. You got it.
If Girls in White Dresses is willing to roll like a 4+, 3+, 2+2+, they can mark the ball, but that's literally all that Priest can do right now. So I feel like you don't do that, and instead you just claw palm something with blue satin sashes. Try to you give up on the fact that your opponent is scoring here, and you just aim to try to make your drive easier by killing stuff. I like how the strength Flesh Golem and the strength Nurgle Warrior have just been staring at each other for like 3 turns. They haven't even tried to block. They're just like sitting there like, ugh. Palming the more important white.
Doesn't get it, but it does push him onto other Claw Mighty Blow, so this is, a good play.
Try again, and then we'll ping pong him back onto the other one.
Yep. You take the boat down here.
Yeah, you don't want to push him back onto the...
Nurgle not getting the block dice they need. Not that they're doing themselves any favors. You can get a 2-die here on the Flesh Golem finally. Oh, not going to take it, though.
Roll the dodge to foul the wolf.
No assist foul the wolf on a 3+ dodge?
Seems good. No, he's just marking him so that the wolf can't claw palm something better than a rotter.
The killer standing literally next to him? Yeah, probably.
Mm-hmm. Accurate. Well, put your ball safe, punch a thing. Probably more than one thing.
You're more in a getting punched position right now than anything else.
That's true. So do we score? I mean, probably not.
No, you can definitely make this ball safe.
You can make the ball safe, but then you don't, if you do so, you don't actually get any hits, right? Like you kind of want both the white and the ghoul to screen off the werewolf from the pestigore, but you also want them to be assists if you're actually going to try to hit stuff down here in this mess. So you have to make the choice between punching things and making the ball safe. So I feel like you make the ball safe and then maybe just try to dodge out the killer to hit something rather than anything else. You could go for a 3+ dodge into a 2-die on this Girls in White Dresses. Yeah, that's what my thought was. You move the werewolf and then you put the white somewhere to screen him, and then you can use the ghoul as an assist and then try the dodge. Worst case,
you can use the stand firm guard zombie as an assist.
Oh yeah, I thought he was marked for some reason.
Just hanging out.
No, that's what I would do then, probably. I mean, go for the 3+ dodge. Just hit somebody more important while using these 2 players to screen off your ball from everybody in case something goes horribly wrong.
I don't hate it.
I do not hate it.
Despite all the nonsense, the Nurgle are hardly out of this. I mean, this drive has gone horribly, but the Beast of Nurgle is the only real painful loss.
No, and if one of those KOs, if the Pestigore KO comes back, that would be nice, but he's more a defensive than an offensive Pestigore. So the Nurgle are still going to have a full team for their drive if one of those KOs come back, I think, because this was a region. And it doesn't really matter which one.
Yeah, if you screen off now with the white, you can put the wolf in the corner and he can't be blitzed by anyone. The killer can't reach.
Yep, and then you put the wolf over here.
Though, of course, you're in a position where you could get based and then maybe not have the players to clear him off, so it is a little scary. But he is doing... Oh, no, he's not doing what we thought. Is he just going to go after this rotter?
Maybe.
This is interesting.
He could also be dodging out and then going after blue satin sashes anyway.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would be a GFI? No.
No, we're just going for the rotter. Find them both down.
Both down's fine there. He's staring at it to make sure.
Well, I think he was debating if he wanted to go. No, you just take them both down. Stare at it. Okay. Oh, there's the piling on.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Dead!
And he gets some reward for it.
Look at those dice again. Double sixes on the casualties.
Jesus Christ, yeah. Oh, and he gets a free zombie out of it, right? Because,
No regen.
no regen, yeah. I thought decay was also a thing that you couldn't have, but apparently not. Now I'm reading the necro skill.
That's I think it's Nurgle's Rot that is the
Oh, the note. Okay, that's why.
Yeah, it's so Nurgle's Rot, you can't get decay rotters, but you can also get an unlimited number of them. Whereas the necro, like the undead one, you can only get one zombie, but you also get it for that game immediately.
Yeah.
So
we had a relevant moment for that in a couple of playoffs ago, where someone chose dead instead of a strength bust, and therefore giving their opponent an extra player.
how is that relevant?
Where like the fact that you get it this game was relevant because someone like kind of tilted out and picked dead
I see.
because it was like strength bust into dead, and then because they chose dead, they
Chose to score here.
Interesting. I think you could have made it pretty safe. I guess not really because he didn't blitz the plus strength guy, but I will be right back.
This is the opposite way that we want this to happen, but this is a matchup where technically the double player transfer could occur. If the Nurgle killed a ghoul, ghouls do not have regen, the Nurgle could get a rotter out of the ghoul, and then if these two teams played again, the Necro could kill that rotter and then turn the rotter into a zombie and get their own player back, which is kind of funny. And it's the only way that happens. The Nurgle do only get the game after the game is finished, which is why I said if they played each other again. But Nurgle can also get unlimited rotters. Like if you killed 8 players in the game, you get the option to hire 8 rotters, which is kind of fun, but you just don't get them for that game. This gives Priest an opportunity to 2-turn, and it also gives him another KO attempt. I mean, I suppose you would get that anyway, but he has an opportunity to 2-turn, which is interesting because it's not impossible to 2-turn. So he might be tempted to try to 2-turn instead of just go for damage. And maybe that's something you can always consider, right? If you give your opponent just 1 turn, the Nurgle aren't going to 1-turn. So they'll just try to kill you to make their next half easier. If you give them a 2-turn, maybe they'll try to take the 2-turn. And then instead of killing you, they try to 2-turn. But, you're giving them a chance to 2-turn. So we'll see what they actually attempt to do. Sorry. I don't mean to be, aggressive, Saitalon. But yeah, you are correct. That's true. A player could get 2 MVPs for a match if they died and then were raised as a different thing. Well, not on the Nurgle side because you don't get them till after the game. But a player could get MVP for one team, die, get raised as a zombie, and get MVP on the other side, and then get double MVPs, but they count as new players, so it's not like they're getting 10 SPP or anything. This is in fact a very nice Necro team. I mean, it turns out there's a reason why they've done this well in Challengers Cup. Good coach, good team, makes a good combination for doing well in the Challengers Cup. Setting up in the rule of 5 to try to defend their players means that if the Nurgle want to, they could just go for this 2-turn, right? Like the Pestigors could go forward, and we could attempt the 2-turn. A deep kick would make it really, really hard, and the fact that these wolves exist make it hard because they can kind of reach anywhere in the field. But they could go for it, and we'll see what they elect. We'll see what Priest elects to do here.
Sorry, I have returned.
Welcome back.
So setting up for a 2-turn as Nurgle, not the easiest thing in the world.
No, but he does have the option. He can either aim for damage here, or he can aim to try to do the 2-turn, and we'll see what he elects to go for.
The problem is he's actually down players, isn't he? It's 10 versus 11 because he has made No dent. I mean, he's made negative progress in the Necro's bench and has lost 4 players.
Correct. He does have another 50% to get that other Rotter back to be at a full team going into the next half, and he might get a removal on the LOS here. We are going for the 2-turn, I think.
I mean, it's the playoffs. You've got to go for it.
He could aim to just score in his own half and go for overtime, but the fact that he's already down players means that's like you're less inclined to want that because you don't have a big advantage right now. If you had a big player advantage, you could consider playing that way instead.
Focusing on damage, but I mean, he's still gonna get some damage hits here.
That is a good question. If you kill your ghoul turned rotter and remade them into a zombie, does it count as a Pokemon? No, I think it just counts as a race change. You went from ghoul to ghoul to zombie. It's not really a Pokemon because you're not collecting someone else's player. It's just your player again. All right. It begins. Nothing.
Got us done.
Attempt number 2.
Yeah, definitely focusing on
the 2-turn.
Making space. With that in mind, I guess he's going on this side because there are some slower pieces on the right-hand side, but he does mean he's going to be blitzing a Flesh Golem.
Yeah.
Okay. Goes for a scoring threat right away.
Well, you got to get that scoring threat while you still have the reroll.
Yeah. All right. Nurgle.
Yeah.
Just Nurgle thing.
Yeah. I mean, it really sucks.
The fat pal there. You don't stand from this because you want him to have to
follow to pile on.
Which you don't, I think.
No, he probably won't. Doesn't matter.
Need it.
Yeah, you got to have that scoring threat, or else this is just not useful. And might as well attempt to get him there while you still have the reroll available.
Yeah, so you can't tie up this Flesh Golem very easily, or very meaningfully, perhaps. You can tie up this wolf a little bit. Okay, that makes it a little safer to shove the plus strength guy there.
Nice mitten.
Which would only be a single GFI from scoring. You can have 2 single GFI scoring threats. Okay, he's throwing everybody out there. I'm a little concerned that he's left his backfield open, and he has no way to protect it currently.
Well, it doesn't really matter. The Necro can't score from this position.
No, but the Necro can stop you from scoring.
Yeah, but he's going to try to...
Plus, they can currently jump through this screen. Okay, this could help. Yes, Rotters are faster than I think they are, so that helps a little bit.
I mean, it's not likely that you score anyway. You build this turn as priest around everything you can possibly do to make your score as likely as possible, like having safe scoring threats. And if you fail to pick up, or if your opponent gets to the ball, well, it doesn't matter. Like you just have to.
So far, it's going okay. That said, if you can knock down Bright Copper Kettles, I think you stop GFIing. You don't need these.
Unless he's trying to pass now.
No, he's not. Okay, so you could hit the ball if you can knock down Bright Copper Kettles. But that's a bit of an ask, because you'd need to commit a lot of resources, and you'd probably block your own way.
And if you fail, then you have no backup plan, because you need to commit so many players to it. It might be better.
You need to commit players that don't really need elsewhere, I think.
I think it might be better to just like blitz ranger ups on roses and then get as many players in the way of the 2 scoring threats as possible.
I say you've got a 3+, but it is a 3+ through strength 5 tentacles, so never mind. Oh no, you can go this way. Yeah, you've got a 3+, 3+ to hit with dodge.
Which way?
Just by dodging through this screen. You can take the wolf, and you can dodge through cream-colored ponies' tackle zones and Roach Lever Hindus, because this is the Rotter needed to be 1 square farther forward to actually be a meaningful screen.
Yeah, it's 2 3+, which it's with dodge,
but with a built-in reroll. Yeah, I mean that works most of the time.
It's a 1 die into an uphill, though, is it not?
It is. Okay, he elects to go for after one of the scoring threats instead.
I feel like this is what I would do: is hit one of the scoring threats, and then just there's only 2 more scoring threats remaining, and you can just get as many players as possible on them, so that they have to roll hard dice to attempt their touchdown, whether it be the catch or the dodge.
I think you have enough players to screen off even, and like that's the
Yeah.
thing is Nurgle are weak to just a standard
Pretty
because
much.
they have no real. Can you get? You have to expose a wolf, I think, which is scary. But I mean, that's the world you live in.
Mm-hmm. You can screen up the left side. You can mark both. You can mark like crisp apple strudels with the.
That's okay.
Yep.
There we go.
And you can mark crisp apple strudels with the flesh golem, who's going to be difficult to shift. And that leaves kind of girls in white dresses as your one threat, and now he has to dodge through wolves.
Yes, that's a fair point.
And you can make this
You can make this very hard.
You can get the full like double screen with the ghoul and the white as well here.
Yeah, that's what he's doing.
Yeah, and then you take the flesh golem and slam him in somewhere here, and like this is going to be pretty much impossible for the Nurgle.
Does the Nurgle have 2 squares of lateral movement to waste, which would require them to go like through this screen, unless they could? Because yeah, if you put the flesh golem just there,
yeah.
it's impossible for him to deal with.
There you go. Now the Nurgle can't really get through.
You don't even need.
No, you just put him in the way.
I mean, now we're gonna see a bunch of 4+ dodges through, probably.
If you can engineer if you can knock down the flesh golem, you can go around still, but it's not easy to knock down that flesh golem.
So what you do is you hand off to Crisp Apple Strudels. He blitzes this Blodge Wolf and follows, regardless of what the result is, and then he 4+, 3+. Easy game. Easy.
Yeah, it's not the easiest scoring chance with double 4+, but you know, there's a shot. Tentacles
Snakes on the tentacles.
on the thing that doesn't matter. Can't make the tentacles.
Yeah, I think that is it though. Honestly, your best bet of scoring here. Can you engineer any chain? No, there's no chain push really.
Yeah, that zombie being there kind of throws this, and the white throws this. You could, if they weren't there, you could try to knock down the flesh golem, and then you could technically go around with like a 3+, 2+, 2+. But that's, you have to knock him down first. Okay,
gets the thing.
Going with the tackle piece to just make sure that we knock him down.
Well, and to give an opportunity to, you didn't need to knock him down, but this is just to get a bit of damage.
Yeah, maybe you get lucky out of it, which we did not, but you know.
So we're going for the good old 4+, 3+ strategy.
Yep.
We're gonna take some blocks in the meantime, just to waste.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's unlikely to work, but what's more likely to help you next half is removing players, so you might as well try to get a couple removals.
Yeah, I might have actually taken a... Oh, well, you didn't get a push, but yeah. I might have taken a push there to get a 2-die with Claw Mighty Blow.
Yeah, but if he didn't have that option...
Yeah. It's just a thing to consider.
He made it a 3-die to give the option to do so. Oh, well, okay, here's the reroll.
That's not a good start.
Okay, well, GFIs are good. It's time for the handoff, I guess.
Technically, 2 GFIs, yeah, is better. Oh, he's going with the plus strength guy, so that means you have to...
It's the same either way.
It's a
oh, no, GFI. It's a GFI, yeah. Nope, failed the first dodge. And KOs himself. Good job.
Girls in white dresses.
And blue satin sashes. Snowflakes that melt on your nose and eyelashes. Silver white winters that melt into springs. You know what's fun?
You're gonna do the chorus, really? You're gonna
These
stop
are a few of my favorite things. Two of those lines are not players on this team. Just so you guys know how dedicated I am. I know that song.
Pestigore does not come back, so that means he is still gonna be down players.
Rip.
And it's the plus strength one, of course, that just KO'd himself, so that's a big deal. Not looking great for the Nurgle. So
not
it is
so far.
10 on 11. The Necro have an enormous bench remaining. And all of their positionals.
We do get to go into the Nurgle drive now, though, where the Nurgle can be much more aggressive in attempting to remove players.
I mean, yeah, the Nurgle players could remove the entire LOS and then their blitz, and then suddenly you're like, oh, hey, well, the Nurgle are in great shape now.
Yeah, like, and it's a lot easier to aim for removals when you're on offense than it is on defense, because you don't have to dedicate players to protecting your ball. You can just kind of try to maximize blocks and stuff. So the Nurgle are more likely to get removals here now, and if they can get a lot, if you can get a bunch, then there's a chance that going to overtime could work out. as of right now, I would probably put overtime in favor of the Necro because player advantage in those wolves.
I mean, I almost always put overtime favor in the one that isn't the Nurgle, as
That's
long
fair.
as the other team has player.
Yeah, that's fair. But we'll see if the Nurgle can get some removals here. They really need to get some to make this work out well for them.
Yeah, sudden death is just not a format that favors a team as slow as Nurgle.
No.
Though I guess Stink does help a bit with the anti-2 turning.
Yeah, it does. And anti-1 turning for that matter, but Stink is very useful, and people often forget about it. The problem is he's missing at least one of those Stink, from the Beast of Nurgle. And there's no plus agi anywhere on the wolves, so if you can get at least one Stink everywhere that a wolf needs to be, you are making it so they have to make a 4+ catch to do anything, whether that's the handoff or the catch. And that's it's a 75% with a reroll, but it's still quite a bit more difficult than the standard 3+ with a reroll.
Gesundheit.
Gesundheit, says Shadora.
I think Emily knows my name.
Yes, but do you want it said to 50 people? Okay. Justin,
I've been calling you
Gesundheit. Although, I'm so used to calling you Shadora from our recaps and stuff. I'll be talking about you to her and then say Shadora instead of your name, and she'll say that same thing. His name is Justin, right?
You've known him since high school.
But I have called you Shadora in real life to other people instead of your actual name.
I don't think I usually call you steak mittens.
No, but I've started to respond to when people talk about food. I'm like, do you mean me? Oh no, that meant actual steak.
No, I do the other thing where I'm like, oh yeah, my friend Ben, and they're like, yeah, we know who Ben is. He visits every couple of months. Looks like he's targeting the flesh golem and not the. Okay, that's
perfect D.
Not terrible. No, that's pretty bad.
It's not terrible, but it's annoying as the Nurgle because your real goal here is to try to get removals, and the Necro can just move all their players off the claw. They get 1 claw hit instead of 3, which is what they wanted to get.
It's not backbreaking, but in a game that has already been a little backbreaking, it's certainly just one more thing.
Yeah. And it's just annoying, right? It's you line up with the intent of getting 3 Claw Mighty Blow hits to try to get removals, and now you get 1. It's sad. Yeah, it is always weird. I've met a bunch of people in real life that I've met over the internet in various forms, and it's strange trying to call them by their actual names rather than other things. Although, interestingly enough, a lot of the people that I played with, I just ended up calling them by their first names online anyway, for some reason, so that made it a bit easier.
Ben, we may not be the best casters, but we certainly fill dead air time for boring setups.
I mean, that's true. I mean, one of the big things that people complain about is, how there's these dead air times, and at least we're good at that part.
We've got the sick bants.
I know, right? I wanna come up again relatively soon. I'm hoping in March or April or something, maybe.
Well, it was -35 yesterday, so I wouldn't recommend it.
Oh no, that's fine. I don't care how cold it is. I just want to take the train up again because that was super fun, and I want to do that again. So, I'm using coming to visit you exclusively as an excuse to take the train.
I know. I mean that last sentence made that very clear.
But I want to come up with Emily on the train at some point.
Fair. You guys should do that.
But I'm just waiting for a good sale on the fun business class because that's kind of the only way it's worth it. And I'm just gonna wait till there's a rando sale and then I'll book it last minute or whatever.
All right. While we continue to drag through this long setup, we'll need another discussion topic. How about 4-minute turns?
No. I'm just gonna say no.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, I was gonna start, but no.
That was a joke. You shouldn't start. Resist the urge.
Yep. The Necro, it's kind of a whenever I like watching perfect defense setups because you always kind of get to see what they're trying to prioritize. It's like, okay, so I'll move these guys away from the claw, but then that leaves this side of the pitch open, and that means this guy can get blitzed. So I'm gonna need to put these players in front of this guy so he doesn't get blitzed. And you end up in these, but I want to have this guy forward as like a threat in case he fails to pick up the ball. So you end up with these weird like non-standard setups. Like you normally see like the rule of 5 or like the chevrons or all those sorts of things. And then you just get stuff like this with like a weird square of zombies and then like a wolf behind a flesh golem. You get these strange setups that people try to work out on the fly with based on your opponent's positioning. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, he can be really aggressive with this wolf because there was just no player to punish it on this side because they only have one killer.
Most Nurgle teams do only have one.
Yeah, I guess. Chaos tend to have more, but
you also have unlimited beastmen. Nurgle get 4.
Not in my experience. You usually have 2 to 3 that aren't dead at any given moment. I sustained on average 1.5 death equivalent perms this season, every game.
I averaged more than 1 death, not death equivalent perms, death, more than 1 per game this season.
Nice.
It was
like
like
the same ballpark.
It was like 1.1 or something. It was barely above 1, but I did average more than 1 death a game.
It must be said, this is basically the perfect turn 9 as far as the Necro are concerned.
Yeah.
No, not even a break.
Yeah. And what's going to make it better is if they fail to pick up and it scatters in a place that the wolf can reach. No, we're good.
Nearly perfect. Yeah, that is not exploitable.
No, the wolf can probably get there, but not very easily.
Not meaningfully. 1, 2, 3, 4,
You're gonna mark
5,
it.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, he can mark. If he cuts through tackle zones, he can make it, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if he goes 3 plus 3 plus 2 plus 2 plus, he can 2.
Yeah, that doesn't seem worth it.
And then be surrounded by Nurgle.
Good play. That's just begging your wolf to be killed.
What you do is you do that, and then you push it into this block of Nurgle players who all fail to catch it because they're Nurgle players, and then it scatters out into one tackle zone, which you then pick up with your movement piece.
No, you use the frenzy to push players into a square, and then you fireball it.
You can't use the frenzy because you have to do extra GFIs to make it there. But nice try, Ben.
No.
It's true that the bolt still exists, and I had kind of forgotten all about it.
It's not showing up. Oh, it's doing that bugged thing where it's supposed to be here and it's not.
This is the space where my wizard should be.
If I had one, but I do. So
yeah,
don't forget about the wizard. Yeah, the Necro are up players 1-0 and still have a wizard. It's looking pretty good for them.
I think the Necro are at a bit of a loss of what to do here. I think, honestly, I would just blitz with the wolf on a rotter and then retreat and just, like, force the Nurgle to do something. You can't really out-pressure the Nurgle right now.
No,
Yeah,
these are always these are always the weirdest turns for me, is, like, the turns where none of your players are tied up, but, like, their whole team is in front of you. And it's, like, that first turn on defense. Like, where do you put guys? This is always the weirdest turn for me. Trying to decide what to do here.
In a bash mirror where both teams have enough guard that like you can't just aggressively base people, I think it's all about getting in the way in such a way that you expose the weakest players and make it hard for your opponent to get like good blocks and good bait.
Yeah, it's kind of like weird half elf screen. Like you're not trying to prevent them from going forward; you're trying to prevent them from getting into a good position.
You are controlling pitch.
Yeah. This is always the weirdest turn for me, though. Like, whenever I play, I never know exactly what I'm doing or if I'm doing is the right thing on this turn, like right now.
Yeah, I mean, these turns are like the bread and butter of bash mirrors. Because, like, once you get into a scrum, it's easy to, like, be like, okay, well, this is the best guard spot. But when you're in these turns, it's much harder to, like, think.
Yeah, to think it through and where you need players to be and who needs to be where. And especially as, like, a slow team. Like, if this was Nurgle doing this instead of Necro, you have to be extra careful that you put your Pestigors in good spots so that you have access to most of the pitch. With the Necro, it doesn't matter so much because they've got wolves, but with like dwarves or Nurgle or something, when you have slow players, there's the extra addition of
So the nice thing
to pay
as
attention to.
Nurgle in this matchup is that you can afford to go a little bit more all mans because your damage is so much more, so much more reliable than theirs. Like they can frenzy you, sure, but it's very hard when you're faced with a wall of Nurgle warriors to get a frenzy off that isn't a huge trap. And even if you get the knockdown, your wolf is based. Like there's no
strength. A line of strength 4 guard that also happens to have foul appearance is pretty difficult to try to shove your way through.
Yes. So now the Nurgle can afford to be, or the Nurgle can afford to be a little based here. They didn't go too hard. They're tying up this guard zombie, which is nice. They've got this other zombie for a free Claw Mighty Blow hit. The Flesh Golem, of course, if he stands up, is just gonna get punched again.
Yeah.
This isn't bad. It's a bit of pressure. You're giving away a free hit on Roach Lover Hindus, but we all want Hindus to die, so that's not really a problem. And it does expose brown paper packages to a Claw Mighty Blow blitz, potentially. You could even do it with the Dodge Wolf so that you could dodge out afterwards, because this other one does not have tackle. It's a bit risky. You'd have to commit a lot of players to this left-hand side, so it might not be worth it.
No, and then the Nurgle would be okay if you committed a whole bunch of players to one side, because then they can kind of push you towards the sidelines and remain in the middle.
Yeah, and once Necro gets separated from themselves, which they would, because some of these pieces on the other side are their slowest support pieces, they'd be in... I think it is a bit of a trap.
My cat is sleeping on a shelf that I have suction cupped to the window, and she's incredibly cute. Just everybody should be aware of that.
That cat is only cute when she's sleeping, otherwise she's a monster.
But it snowed recently, so it's like all winter wonderlandy outside with snow on the ground and stuff, and she's this like fuzzy cat sitting on a shelf in front of a window in front of the snowscape background, and it's very cute and kind of picturesque.
That is a very cute winter experience. My winter experience yesterday was my back door being frozen shut, so I like sat in front of it for 10 minutes with a hairdryer trying to thaw it out enough to get it open. And when that didn't work, I had to walk around the block in my PJs to the back alley so I could kick.
Nice.
Which was slightly less romantic.
Yeah.
But kind of funny. Oh, I mean, that's just Wonder Twin A and B in a nutshell, really.
That's true.
It's like the dynamic of our relationship. All right, we're committing. Are we going for... Ooh, we're going after the... Oh, we're doing a chain push. Okay, that makes sense. Pushing the tentacles into your players. Always a good call.
And we've removed another one. Noob of Clan Noob.
Maybe he'll be gone, so we won't have to ruin the theme anymore.
It's still the right number of syllables, so you can add it in there.
This wolf is now out of movement and in a... Yeah, all right. Just throwing GFIs in overtime format. Don't mind. This white has a no die right now, red die.
A no die. He can throw a block with no dice.
Yep. You know what I mean. You can get a 1 die here. I don't know about pushing him in here. You don't really have a good... Because
that Flesh Golem does not have guard.
Yeah, I think he might have assumed he could get a good block off here, but that is not the case currently. Goes for it with the Wrestle White, I suppose, or the Ghoul rather. That makes a lot.
Yeah, the most likely of chance of putting him on the floor with a 1 die.
Okay, neither of these players have tackle, so it's not super scary to follow up with the Ghoul if you wanted to try to get a 2 die with Yeah, okay, this is what he's doing. But he is putting, of course, his Ghoul on Strength 5 tentacles. So
he is, and he's also just lining himself up for a bunch of Claw Mighty Blow hits next turn. Assuming...
Okay.
Ooh.
I don't think you can... I don't know about rerolling. I know it, like, exposes you to a Claw Mighty Blow hit, but this is... Alright, well, he's rewarded. Never mind. What do I know?
Nothing, apparently. Never punished. Yeah, I don't know. Like, re-rolling there feels bad, but if you didn't, the Nurgle can just start Claw Mighty Blowing a bunch of your dudes.
Yeah, I mean, you do get your best support White Claw Mighty Blowed.
Yeah, and the Ghoul has a hit from the Strength 5, and yeah, it's not a great...
you hate to see those sort of things, right? That was I think there was some argument to be made about rerolling it because it does expose you to bad hits, but then like the KO is just like.
And I feel like exposing yourself to bad hits is the only way the Necro lose this, right? Like it's a little weird to think about it that way, but the Necro have a wizard. The Nurgle have less players. The Necro are up 1-0. The only way that the Necro are going to lose this game is if they let the Nurgle punch them to death.
Yeah,
so
that's a good point.
Anything you can do to stop your players from getting hit is by Claw Mighty Blow is how you win the game.
It's true. You can afford to be a little greedier than average, and it definitely paid off, obviously. If he makes this Rotter block, which is 1 in 9able, with the ball as an assist.
As always.
I quit. What?
As always, Herringzord saying the exact thing I was trying to say in half as many words.
Man, that was the most like deserving block of a 1 in 81 I've ever seen. But I mean, he's in a rough position, so you know he's got to take risks.
Yep.
I'll cut him some slack. Claw Mighty Blow hit coming in on the Flesh Golem. This could be a bit scary.
Attempting to decide whether he's standing firm here or not.
Yes, because otherwise the Claw Mighty Blow guard is going to follow up and be basing all your play.
Yep.
So you definitely stand firm.
If you do, he just stands up and gets clawed again, but that's probably better than the other players.
No, he's definitely... Most of the time he goes down and he stays down here, but...
This is why the Flesh Golem tax exists, because the Flesh Golems get given jobs like this, where they have to stand firm and continuously stand up against Claw.
He could die a second time in the same game, it's true, but for now he is okay. It must be said, this is not the safest ball in the world. When a wizard is in play.
I don't think the ball is ever going to be safe for 2 reasons. 1, wizard. 2, less players than the Necro.
The ball is safe enough.
Fireball it.
Now the question here is, do you go for the 2 die on the ghoul and pray for a POW, or do you just hit this? Yeah, you just hit the zombie and you dub skull. All right.
Sweet.
Not coming up Nurgle.
Fireball it.
Yeah, just do it.
I mean, if you get a knockdown on literally any one of the 4 front players here, you can just hit the ball, or the ball is out of hands if that guy.
Well, you'd have to hit the ball with a zombie, so I don't know if I'd call that ideal.
If you knock down the front guy, you could hit it with the wolf. If you knock down the side guy, you could hit it with the wolf. If you knock down the zombie, you could hit it with the flesh golem. If you knock down the ball's on the floor.
It's true. It's just the nastiest BDSM scene I've ever seen.
Zombies dominating these warriors. Yeah.
Which is saying something for those who know my profession.
Oh boy. Well, I feel like we might be debating it, or debating some sort of wizard use, considering we have no movement yet. Whenever there's a big pause,
here, which means I don't love the wizard.
That's fair. But I think it's worth having a think about, and that's what these early turn pauses are probably generally for, is deciding whether or not the wizard is worth it, because gotta use it now.
If this flesh golem was free, I would think I would like it a lot more, just because you'd be able to get a lot more like relevant pieces in this place. But I think this turn for the Nurgle, or for the Necro rather, is going to be bringing all your support pieces closer to the ball, because right now you're kind of...
Yeah, I mean, we're going to stand up the flesh golem, and then suddenly the Nurgle warriors are just going to be surrounded by flesh golems and zombies, and now we can just go after the ball with the wights and werewolves and ghouls and oh my.
We can even block down brown paper packages and then blitz Wormwool and Wittens with Claw Palm, and then if either of those are a break, you're in a great place. And even if you don't get the break or the knockdown on brown paper packages, you can push them onto Mighty Blow, so you can get several more hits, really.
Tied up with string.
This is
there's the block. And we find the knockdown.
Chain push puzzles. You could even foul someone this turn if you wanted to. First foul the game, I think.
I think so. I don't remember a foul.
Me neither.
I like the tentacles flailing about on the ground when he gets chain pushed. I made a tentacle flailing hand motion.
I'm happy for you.
I just want everybody to imagine what that looks like.
So if you do a blitz from the top angle here on this Nurgle warrior, you can even push him onto more mighty blow if you don't get. Oh, he's stand firm.
He's stand firm, yeah.
Ignore everything I just said.
But if he chooses, you're not giving him the option. If he chooses to not stand firm, then it's still a 2-die, and he gets pushed on one more mighty blow.
You might be going after this Pestigore instead.
Potentially.
Saying this guy is effectively tied up. All these Nurgle warriors aren't going anywhere. I'm just going to focus on your free players, which I don't hate, but the Nurgle are slow enough that I think you can afford to hit Wormwill and Mittens and hope to get a bit lucky.
That's true. I mean, you can get... you could hit him with the wolf, and then you can put the wolf, the white, and some zombies like in the way and prevent their forward progression very easily without having to use that wolf. Without having to use Wolfgang, I should say, as part of that. You can have him run around, sniping stuff while getting players in the way. Nope, not going to use him.
Keeping him as a bit of a screen.
Safety wolf.
It's not really a safety. It is a screen, though.
No, but I think there's a safety wolf meme or something. So, you know.
Is there?
I don't...
Wolves make great safety. Isn't there like a safety Longbeard meme?
Safety Chorf.
Safety Chorf, that's what it is. Basically the same thing.
And it's great because a bunch of people made like little images of like a Chorf blocker with like orange safety cones and like a hard hat and a stop sign and stuff. It's really funny. Like, this is the safety Chorf. Do not anger the safety Chorf.
Nice.
Asha Chorf, making sure everybody's following workplace safety rules. Or health and safety for those of you in the UK. Health and safety Chorf. I don't know why I find that so funny, but it's great.
Because you're a dork.
That's true.
Regular mighty blow.
Boring. No claw, no piling on. What is this? It's not going to matter, though. He's just going to kill him here.
Oh, he's dead, but yeah, no, he's fine.
Oh, okay. Good.
I knew all along he'd be fine.
Did you?
Yeah. My heart apart.
I'm calling it now. I knew all along that he would be fine. Results-based predictions.
Yeah, welcome to the Wonder Twin Power Hour. We have fun here.
That's true. Well, we still have a zombie, and we still have a wolf, and we still have a white to do things with. You could bring the white around the back, not like all the way around the back, but like just above the zombie to try to prevent the like return back to the center, consolidate forces sort of turn.
I don't like this leaving your players based on the tentacles play.
Neither do I. Thanks for the follow, Mr. Papa Potato.
Also realizing a good idea. Yeah, okay. There's the anti-swing around zombie.
Yeah.
Why is this white hanging out?
Because we ran out of time.
I think so, yeah. That white should be at least one square over, so he's at least providing guard support.
And he's not just on tentacles, but the timer ticked down.
This is an easy 2-die, yeah. And gets one.
Did he get better? No.
It looked like he got better.
He did get better. Regen is 100% so far for this Necro team.
Yeah, not so much for the Nurgle. I mean, it's only 50%. I don't actually know if they've had more than one cast. But the Rotter, it's hard out there for a Rotter, that's for sure.
I think that there's a Nurgle warrior that got better, so I think it's exactly 50% for the Nurgle so far.
Hey, look, if you were coaching this team, that would have been the white removed.
That's true.
Again, though, 100%.
It's fine.
It just means more SPP for price, you know?
And they're off the field for this drive, at least, which might make the scoring a bit easier, but dear lord, that regen. Dear lord, that regen. I wish my regen worked like that.
What are we at for numbers? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Like 4, 5, 4, I think? Oh, not for number of players, not regens.
8 versus 9, so the Nurgle are slightly undermanned, and if this dodge doesn't work, they are dead. So, not a terrible turn for the Nurgle. They are running out of time, of course. They have 4 turns versus a wizard to score. This might not be the worst wizard turn, which is why he's thinking about it, I think.
Yeah, here it is.
You bolt the ball. That is a good scatter for the Nurgle, for sure.
That's about as almost as good as it could have been.
For sure.
If it was one square to the left in 2 tackle zones instead of 1, maybe it would be better.
Oh,
Actually,
yeah.
I don't know about that, because then you could have chain pushed this Rotter onto it and probably gotten it out.
You
of
can
all
get
of
the
them.
white around if you come through and blitz with the wolf on Bright Copper Kettle. Would the fireball have been better there? On average, it knocks down 2.5 players. It's more variance heavy, certainly. I don't know if it would have been, strictly speaking.
So, in order to get the fireball to be good, and it would have to have knocked down either one of the front players and the ball carrier, both of the front players, or both of the side players. If one of those 2.5 on average was this guy, Blue Satin Sashes, it would have done nothing.
Yeah, it's true that just making things into a mess wins you the game. Like, he could just literally blitz this Rotter down with like anyone really, and then move Frank Eisenstein onto the killer and like just be all up in this grill, all up in the Nurgle's grill, and then they don't need to do anything.
No, once again, the only way the Necro lose this is by losing all of their players. So they just make it hard to get punched. They put a little bit of pressure on. They make it messy. And
that foul appearance
really
is a big deal, though. It
That's
means
true.
that it's going to be a lot harder for the Necro to punch through this. You can still just take like the wolf in here and all mans this, which is what he's going to do.
One man, or half man, half wolf going in.
You can't pile on this, because if you do, you get in your own. Ooh, spicy.
Puts himself on the ball.
Now you definitely want to put your big boy in there. It's got a lot of guard support.
Throw him in.
Caliente.
Rojo Caliente.
Extra picante. You could even bring your plus movement wolf and also put that on the ball, and at that point, like, what are the Nurgle gonna do? With the same 3+ dodge, but this time with a built-in reroll.
Yeah, you want to slam the big boy Frank Eisenstein in there.
Just slam that wolf in there. This is starting to sound like work.
Really? You went with slam that wolf in there over slam that big boy in there as more work related?
I like to keep things interesting.
Okay.
Hey, I just want you to regret asking me to cast this at 10 in the morning.
That's fair. It's 1 in the afternoon now.
Yes. I've been playing Blood Bowl for 4 hours.
I was playing Mech Warrior 5, and then I was about to go Christmas shopping, but then, this happened.
I also have to Christmas shop, but it's probably going to look a lot more like ordering things on Amazon. Ooh, all right, there's tackle on that corner. I didn't even notice. Because the killer is up there, and we get through on the second time. Oh, we don't put him on the ball, though.
No.
I mean, I guess you would be basing, but you could have put your big... whatever.
Here comes the big boy.
Do you have a 2-die with this zombie? I think you do, but yeah, you don't take it because of the 1 in 9 risk.
Which zombie?
The guard stand firm one?
No.
Yeah, you did, because you had 2. Oh no, because this guy's an anti-assist. Yeah, never mind. You had a 1 die.
There's a guard there. One down, but no result this time.
You do not have the guard or the strength, I think, to hit Wormwool and Mittens. Or Frank Eisenstein.
Sludge Games has followed. Welcome along.
So now you 3+ dodge, blitz with the wrestle. Oh, you 1-die. This is a frenzy.
Well, it's
Not
a 1-die into a 2-die though.
You could have frenzy surfed on a 1-die.
That's true.
And then you would have just immediately gotten surfed back, and you would have done it to a zombie. But
are we going to wrestle 1-die the wolf with the Rotter maybe, just to try to get him off the ball?
I think you might blitz with Blue Satin Sashes and do a dodge. and then try to pick up with the Rotter? Because I don't know. I have no idea what we're doing.
Like, yeah, getting the ball afterwards is so hard.
Sure.
That's a skull.
Okay.
Not a skull. Well, now it's a 4+ pickup, 3+ dodge is what we have here. That's an injury. Did he get better? He did not. Regen finally fails. Now it's a 4+ pickup, 3+ dodge. If he's trying to get it with the blue satin sashes, he could also just stay there and make it hard for the Necro to pick up. But you're running out of time.
You're the one that needs to score. You've got 3 turns and no rerolls.
Yeah, you're running out of time.
And then you need to overtime. Oh, that's a good POW though.
Oh, not a removal though.
Stun is basically a removal at this point.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting that blue satin sashes has 2 agility. So no, recovering with him is not a good option.
Oh yeah. One of those times when you're like, Agi-busts on killers don't matter, but wait.
It did this time.
So, can you recover this as the Necro? Not easy. You could scatter it pretty easily. You can get a 2-die on the killer to scatter the ball, but then your recovery options are... We can only hope, Herringsword. We can only hope. This has been a brutal half, but mostly for the Necro, weirdly enough. They just aren't showing it because regen is a skill sometimes.
Sometimes. Mostly sometimes for the Nurgle. Mostly always for the Necro.
Like you could I mean, you don't need to recover this ball. You could honestly just
No,
because then if you're scattering it, like why are you scattering it if you're doing all this work?
all you have to do is make it messy. Like all you have to do is make it hard.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So I think you could just like blitz the killer with the normal wolf. Bring the blitz, the wolf blitz over to provide an assist on one of these players. Hit them with the strength wolf, and then just keep everything messy down below because they can't. Oh well, they could free up one of these Nurgle warriors. Is that relevant? It could be, yeah.
Normal wolf, the Blodge Mighty Blow plus movement wolf.
Standards have shifted. All right.
It's power creep.
So you can mess this up, but Wormwool and Mittens is probably getting free next turn, unless 75% of the time Wormwool and Mittens is getting free next turn, and then he could potentially do something. I don't know what, but
this wolf came with 3. Wolfgang Amadeus has 3.
Ooh, goes for the 1-die. And it's a 1-die into a 1-die too. I don't know about this. He didn't need to do. Oh, he wants to recover the ball, I guess, but
I suppose. Now we blitz.
Out.
Now we blitz the Pestigore to get him off the ball and then recover with the.
That was a 3+2+. Not the least scary thing when you have a pickup in the turn. Yeah, because now you can blitz blue satin sashes and pick up the ball, and if you just run it away, the Nurgle lose.
Pretty much. Although if you don't get the knockdown, it's a little weird. But
you can dodge. Oh no, it's tackle.
And you can't push him off the ball, so like you can't.
But you can with frenzy. Oh well, there you go.
There you go.
Oh, there you.
Told you.
It must be said though, even with all of that going wrong, the Nurgle still have a nearly 0% chance of scoring.
Yeah, that's fair. Because even if that was a push, you don't push him off the ball, which is kind of annoying.
Yeah, you would need 2 pushes. Okay, so as the Nurgle, you have
blitz the wolf and make him dead.
Yeah, and then follow. Stomp on the corpse a bit.
It's hard to justify.
Well, now you wrestle it down, hopefully.
Yep.
Okay, that works. That's totally fine.
And then you can recover with the block Pestigore.
You've got, so you have to. There's no.
You have no good options.
No good options.
You could die. You can 1-die the zombie with the frenzy Pestigore to give yourself a path down this side, which is actually the closest you can get to safe.
That's what you got to do, because otherwise that movement wolf is coming for your nuts.
Yeah, you've got to 1-die this, or you can 3+ dodge through, I guess.
I don't love pushing that way. Are you trying to go this way? The wolf is just going to be on your ass.
And that's not what you want. An ass wolf.
Oh,
took the 3+ dodge. Okay. Yeah, that was the other thing. You could either block this zombie out of the way, or you could
okay,
either 3+ dodge through
Don't take
here,
the
here.
1-die on the zombie then. You can't take the 1-die.
He's next to the guard, so that ghoul isn't actually as scary as...
He didn't need to take that GFI, I don't think.
And it's putting him closer to the touchdown line, which is kind of...
Yeah, but it moved him off of the guard. So now he can be... He can now be 1-died, 3+ 1-died. Yeah, so now he can... I mean, you can engineer a 2-die on this with a 3+ with a built-in reroll.
You have to dodge this Rodder. You have to dodge the Pestigore out now.
And you fail.
If you dodged him out, he could have put him on the ghoul. If you left the Pestigore where he was, the ghoul doesn't get an uphill, or doesn't get a block on 1-die. It's uphill.
Well, the white
can
can 3+. The white can just 3+ out.
Yeah. Well, right now we have a 3+ with a reroll out to wrestle the ball with a 1-die, and if you want to do another
3+ with a reroll and then 3+. Oh, I guess he doesn't have a reroll right now. So you're right. The dodge is scary. I forgot that they lost their reroll.
Yeah.
And you can also just bring in a 2+ for an assist here.
With the zombie.
Does wolf get around? No, the wolf is fairly marginalized. The one on the ground.
2+ GFI, 3+ with a reroll, 2-die with wrestle.
I'd probably just go with the 1-die with wrestle.
Kim disagrees.
That would have been a really bad 2+ to fail.
Yeah, that would have been if you failed that we would probably be going overtime here all of a sudden. Oh, that was scary.
And that's game.
Yep.
I don't think. Well, they can still physically score, I think, but.
That's fair, Herringzord, but sometimes
some are extra bad to fail.
Yeah. Okay. Some are bad to fail. Some will lose you the game.
Yeah, on the spot. Which was that was a fairly low risk play, but if you had failed that 2+, of course, the nerd will just walk away, and there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, very low risk, but or very low. It's very unlikely to fail, but if it does fail, it's incredibly bad.
I mean, I guess it would in that case you'd be going into overtime against with a full team versus
I mean, yeah, that's fair. I mean, I would have done this. I would have done that play. And I think that's part of it, is that even if it does fail, it's bad because it probably sends you to overtime, but you're still favored in overtime. And if it works, you just win. So
folks are saying, yeah, if you brought the zombie over to assist the white, you could have potentially cleared a path for Jack Lycan to come down and give an assist. I think with the movement he has 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you can, as long as you could. If you knock down the Rodder in particular, and I think even if you didn't, yeah, I think you can make it around without it, because he's a speedy boy.
That's true. I think so. I'm too lazy to calculate it out now. But the other thing is, yeah, sure, you're doing it that way, but that's 1, more dice, and 2, this way does it with wrestle, which is more likely to not put the ball on the floor, which makes it more likely that you win because it's more.
Oh no, you'd only bring the wolf around as an assist. You'd still use the wrestle, I think.
Oh, I see. Right. That's still
just
more.
Means it's basically trading a 2+ for a 1 in 36. Or you could just roll a 1-die pass. Also good.
Also good. 1-die POWs, often good. Especially when they result in armor breaks. The uniform of that white makes him look like a wizard. With the stars on his hat. That's he's a wizardly white. Look at him.
Yeah, and there's something strange about the effects going on around the face of the whites. They have this kind of hazy quality.
Wizard whites. I like the uniform.
It is
Now I'm never gonna be able to get the pitch back the way I want it though.
Don't you mess with it too much?
Well, I zoomed in on the white to show the wizardliness, and now it's gonna take me forever to make the micro adjustments to put the pitch at the right angle again to make me feel good.
Now it's just gonna be slightly janky and make everyone sad. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Sometimes Nuffle says no.
Just no.
Just no.
Well, there's no scoring threat for the Nurgle, so that's game.
Yep. So, Kim has taken the Challengers Cup.
There you go. I look forward to seeing you in. Is Okim where's Okim from? I don't remember. Like Rel, G-Man. Priest is G-Man. Okim is Rel, I think. So I look forward to seeing you in Rel 1 next season. No, I don't. I hate those wolves. I don't want to play you.
What are you talking about?
And that's assuming I'm actually in Rel 1. But I missed playoffs by 1 point, so I feel like getting demoted is fairly unlikely. But it's possible. Rel 1 is pretty competitive.
Did he just gentlemanly not pile on?
I think.
Wow. Soft-hearted.
Yeah. Weak.
And
Just a
else we're
push.
going to have to invest in a larger trophy cabinet.
I know, right?
You know, I really wanted that to be a 1 in 9 into dead Stanford zombie. I'm not gonna lie.
That would please me, yeah. Oh, Kim is also G-Man? Oh, there you go. Never mind. For some reason, I thought Rel. I'm not sure why.
I didn't recognize the name at all, and I'm fairly familiar with rail coaches, so yeah.
Okay, there we go. I'm safe.
No,
I don't need to
saving a
worry about
scoring
them.
threat. I guess that's true.
I don't
You can
need.
still technically score.
I don't need to worry about these wolves. Thankfully.
I mean, it must be said, Jack Lycan can also definitely score. But...
I think I saw, like, for some reason in my mind that it was like a Rel versus G-Man thing, but maybe that was probably just because I was thinking about the playoffs rather than the Challengers Cup, which was Rel versus G-Man in hindsight. Gets the ball.
This is going to be 2-0, just that insult to injury.
Yep.
Unless we see a 4+ hero Rodder dodge into a 1-die POW.
A score with Jack Lycan puts him in MVP range to level. Rodder dodge. Fails. GG's to be exchanged. Shadora is re-rolling, so he won't be in 2B.
Shadora's not in Rel 2B, son. Shadora had a rough OI, and then I quit. My Chaos team betrayed me one too many times.
And there you go. Touchdown for Jack Lycan and BreakNec Rampage. And Okim is your Challengers Cup champion. Congratulations, Okim. Commiserations, Priest.
That's what I get for naming a team after American politicians. I
Sad.
don't know what they were
get-
supposed to be, other than a disappointment.
Yeah, I was going to say sadness. Hey, the rookie ghoul that he picked up for this game got MVP. Puts him a little bit closer to leveling. I mean,
rough game.
15 armor breaks to 13 armor breaks when there's like 4 Claw Mighty Blow on one team and 2 on the other seems a little off, but you know, it happens. Well, if it's CCL, that's very common because CCL is a terrible place. In any case, thanks very much everybody for watching. That is the final game of Rel Season 12. Herringzord, if you want to, like, you know, promote anything, you're welcome to. I don't remember exactly what day Div Day is off the top of my head, but Div Day...
January 5th.
There we
and
go.
The league starts on January 8th.
Perfect. Someone's more prepared than I am. January 5th is Div Day. Well, we will work out where all these teams that have played in the playoffs and teams that have not played in the playoffs will end up. Although we will see people...
Did you just wee yourself into that?
What?
You were like, we will figure it out. I just thought it was funny. Anyway.
As in, like, the collective we, as in every
The
human
royal
being
we.
watching this cast. Like, the audience as a collective will find out what's happening. Not we as in, I will do it, because I won't do it. Where was I? We, as in an audience, will see where everybody falls. We're likely to see these Challengers Cup champions and the playoffs champions shoot all the way up to their respective Division 1.
I think that is the default. Yeah.
You can choose not to as challengers, but I think that's only if you're rerolling the team or something. I don't remember how that works. But yes, all these teams that we've seen recently in the playoffs will move out the standings quite a bit. And then the season will start on the 8th for the next season of REBBL. I hope everybody enjoyed all the playoff casts that happened over the course of the last several weeks. Please give love to all of the casters who took time out to cast every single one of the playoff matches that occurred, which is a lot. Sometimes we were scrambling to try to find someone to do it because there's a lot of games to get covered. So thanks again to all of our wonderful casters who covered as many of the games as they possibly could. And thanks to you, audience, for watching. And until next season and next recap time with Steak Mittens and Shadora, we've been Steak Mittens and Shadora. I shouldn't have said your name. That's your job.
I know. I didn't even get to do my own outro. You son of a bitch.
Let's try that again. And until next time, I've been Steak Mittens.
And I'm Shadora.
And we'll see you guys next season.